Hello, welcome back to Alvas Music, to Seth's Tone Zone this week. And this week I am bringing you a Tube Screamer clone shootout. And what I mean by that is, with Tube Screamers, there's a gazillion of them out there. Yes, Ibanez made the original Tube Screamer in the late 70s. Great pedal. Everybody uses them. Stevie Ray Vaughan. Do I need to say more? I mean, seriously, that's kind of like the example I'm going to show you today, is that kind of playing, like a bluesy playing. So many guys. Kenny Wayne Shepherd. I could name a gazillion. John Mayer. A lot of people are, there is a lot more new overdrive styles out there. The Klon is very popular. Like, I just did a shootout last week of the Klons. But a lot of guys still love the old Tube Screamer sound, which is like a mid-boost kind of sound. It helps you cut through a band, brings out solos. People just use these as solo boosts. Some people use them just as their overdrive itself. There's so many ways you can use it, and it's probably the number one modded circuit out there. So today I thought I'd show, because we don't carry Ibanez, I thought I'd show different brands' versions of their interpretation of different Tube Screamers. Next week, I'm going to show you a brand new pedal. We just got in yesterday, so I really couldn't incorporate it in this video, of the JHS Bonsai, which is like a 10-way Tube Screamer. It has like every version of every Tube Screamer there is, and I'll show you guys that next week. But I thought, okay, I'm going to get some more simplified versions of Tube Screamers made by different companies that we carry here. And so today, I will show you those to see. They kind of go... It's not so much price. I kind of tried to put it by price, but I really kind of wanted to go by feature first. So we start with the MXR GTOD, which is just a basic, more of a basic interpretation of what a Tube Screamer kind of would sound like. So it has output, tone, and a gain control on it. And then as you go up in these ones, more features have been added. So over the years, people clip diodes, add bass boosts, add 3-band EQ. That's kind of been a very new and new way to mod these things. So the next pedal I have in that line is the 805 from Seymour Duncan, which is a Tube Screamer clone with 3-band EQ, bass, middle, and treble controls, little mini controls right there. So the next one I have is Mythos Pedals. I featured their Mjolnir last time in the Clone Shootout. Clone Shootout. I thought I'd show off their Herculean. I also have this on one of my boards. I love this pedal. I'm not trying to be biased again. This is all subjective. Subjective? What is it? Subjective. That's Zach behind the camera, if you can hear him. We can't put him in front of the camera. He's hideously ugly, which really says something since I'm on camera. So anyway, a Herculean. What does this thing feature? It features your original TS-808 circuit clone, but it has some modifications to it. It has a 3-way bass boost, which is labeled fat here. I believe when it's in center position, it's like no boost at all. It's like a stock Tube Screamer. And then you can kind of take bass out of the circuit and throw a whole bunch on. And then it has different kinds of clipping diodes. The original Tube Screamer used, I think, Symmetrical Clipping, which you don't really need to know what that means. Just know that it's a kind of clipping of diodes and crazy electronic stuff that only nerds like me like. Even though I don't know that much, I just know that that circuit does a certain thing. So asymmetrical, then in the center there's no diodes at all, so it's a little bit more open. It's not heavily compressed. It's just a nice open sound. Then on the top it's LED, which is a more newer style clipping option. Gives you a lot more gain, a lot more brightness, I've noticed in this pedal. So the next to the last one, I didn't even realize we had this one here. It's the Rockbox Boiling Point, and it's a lot like the Mythos Herculean, when it has a bass boost on it, and it also has clipping options. And the clipping options on this one is symmetrical, just like the down position in this one. The center, no diodes again, and then the top is asymmetrical. An example of asymmetrical clipping is the Boss SD1. So that's what kind of started it all. Anyway, mumbo jumbo, let's get to playing here. So I tried to set these up, get a good volume. I'm using this week a brand new guitar we just got in the store from Fender this year. It is their new American Original series, which replaced the American Vintage series. So now what they have is they have Jazz Master, Jazz Bass, P Bass, Tele, all the different Fender guitars and different eras. And instead of doing it by year, they're kind of doing it by a set of like 10 years. Meaning there's the 50s version, a 60s version. I don't think there's a 70s Strat, but there's a 70s Jazz Bass for sure. This is a 60s American Original Strat in Olympic white with the mint green guard. I always love this color combination. So I thought I'd give this one a try today. And I'm always going through it. I love this amp. It's so great. The V40 Deluxe by Victory. It's a perfect example of how to use a tube screamer with a, very American-inspired, clean amp sound that, Stevie Ray and all those guys would kind of use, even though they use a lot of different amps. So, being mic'd by an SM57, going through a 212 Creamback Victory cab. I don't know what else I could say. I should just probably play now. So here's my clean tone. Ooh, maybe I should play right. Okay, I'm going to start with the MXR GTOD. And now I kind of have the drives down to we're going to go through all the gain range in these ones and I'll compare. I gotta stop talking. I talk way too much. All right, here's a GTOD by MXR. Oop, let me click it on. So that's with the drive pretty low. So original tube screamer usually doesn't have that much gain at that point. So this one I've already noticed right away has a little bit more gain than usual. So who knows what kind of clipping and craziness they did in there. Give it that sound. I'm going to move on to the 805. I have the bass, middle, and treble all at noon. But the drive is down once again. Let's hear that 805. Hear the difference. We already see a huge difference in gain. I would say this is way more of a classic tube screamer. You really got to give these things a good amount of drive to match up with that. Anyway, 805. Next, Herculean. This one I actually have a little bit less bass in the circuit. I should probably put it in the center so it's more like the original. So I'm already noticing a lot more gain, just like the GTOD.
A nice fullness to it.
Fullness, it did. It had a lot more of a fullness at that setting. Of course, I'm going to mess with them, try to get them to match a little bit more. Let's hear the boiling point now. I'd say a lot more high end. It's not as full as the Mythos, but it's still there.
Makes me feel like it's in your face.
Yes.
That one's a little. Might have been a volume difference too, but it sounded like it was it was in your face.
It is.
The Mythos was maybe a little sweeter.
A little sweeter, warmer. I mean, the original 808 circuit that this based off of, it's an exact clone of it, except for the switching is known for that sweetness. And then as they made like TS9s and other things, they got a little brighter. Chips weren't as readily available, so they had you have to cut corners and stuff. But it's all interpretation. So I am going to go back to this 805 and try to make it match the gain of where those other ones were. I think that's a good starting point. Ooh. Put that next to the Mythos. Very similar now. All I did was turn the gain up. So, I mean, a lot of these circuits are so interactable. They do different things. So I'm going to kind of go halfway with all of them on the gain. Okay. See how that is. MXR. That one just has this aggressiveness to it. It's a lot more aggressive, which is good. I mean, they might not even market that as a tube screamer. They're probably saying it's a more modern drive, and I can already hear them. I love this MXR, great company. Don't get me wrong, but I can already hear them kind of marketing that as you want more than your old school kind of a tube screamer sound. So that's 805. This is more classic to me. I'm gonna mess a little bit with the three-way. Kind of put everything at 1 o'clock. Already I hear that classic two-screamer cut in this one. I matched the bass and treble, so I mean you can get so much more out of this one. I just got to mess with that one a little bit. I'm going to turn the mids all the way up. More treble, less bass. That really is a lot of mids. I love mids, but I feel like I would tame them a little bit more. Let's turn the bass up. Mids there. I'm going to turn the treble back. So you can already see the benefit right there to the 805, maybe even over these other tube screamers. They have more of a set or just a little bass boost available in a switch, whereas this has 3-band full EQ control. So I'm sure you have to really mess with it to kind of find the sweet spot. So I can see somebody wanting this pedal over those other ones only for that. You know what I mean? So I'm going to move on to the Herculean now and mess with... Well, I even hear it at this setting. Duh. Once again, there's a warmness there. I love it. I know I seem so biased, but I bought this pedal for a reason. I love it. It just, it has that bite. It has maybe not as much of a cut. I mean, what a lot of people don't want in a modded two screamer is they want more bass because they thought, it's just so mid-humpy. That's great, but I want something more full, and so that's why people mod these things. I would say, Mythos has a fullness there over the 805. The 805 is way more of a classic interpretation with the 3-band EQ control is the difference there. Not that I can't make this thing sound classic. I'm sure I could. It just has a warmness there that you can't really hear through the videos unless you have like some high-quality headphones, right? Am I just making mumbo-jumbo up here?
I hear it.
You can hear it a little bit.
So.
Best ways to come try these things. That's why I say that every week and come on down. So, all right, I'm going to move on to boiling point here at this setting. Yeah, way more in your face. That's a lot more in your face, and that's symmetrical clipping too. So I haven't even messed with the clippings. First though, just to I'm probably going to end up comparing these two at the end here. They have a lot more options, and we'll hear the differences between those. Let me finish up full gain on these two. So here, thinking of what to play here. I'm hearing the cut of a two screamer I love. But it has a lot more gain, a lot more compressed. That's one thing I noticed about the MXR. 805. Very similar. But it even has more cut to me. There's that bass coming through. You can definitely hear that. Cool. So, I'm not trying to leave those guys alone, but I kind of want to move on to these because they're very similar in features. So, first thing, I've been using symmetrical clipping, I'm assuming, on all of these. So first thing I'm going to do is, let's see. Let's go to the middle section of the clipping on these, which is no diodes at all, more of an open sound. I'll just use the current gain settings. Usually when you mess with diodes, you kind of have to put either your volume back or something of the sort. So, okay. Here is Herculean, no clipping, no diode clipping, and stock bass amount. So there's an openness there, it's really full. But it's not compressed, it's very open. Hence the word open I've used 20 times now. Boiling point. Woo! That is a hell of a lot more drive. Let me. Man, I'm playing horribly today. I'm sorry. Maybe I just suck. I guess that's what it is. I swear I'm better than this. I noticed right away, in your face. Way more in your face, and a lot more compressed for an open sound, which isn't disappointing, but I feel like the Mythos is doing what an open sound is supposed to do more of. So,
Mythos was almost bordering lightly into like a clean boost area, it seemed like.
Yeah, I think that's what, and that's what they said about the boiling point. I was reading up on it, is in the middle, when you don't have the diodes, it's like a clean boost. It's more of your natural sound of your amp. So that still had a lot of drive to me. But like I said, all the drives on these things are set in different places, you know. The spectrum's all different, so you really gotta. That's more of a clean boost there. I've just turned the drive down. Go right back to the... Different, you know? There's just more highs in this. almost, this is more boosty, I guess. What great words I use. Boosty. Well, I mean, what do you think?
I feel like the Mythos has like a very kind of nuanced, like tiny, like mid-range scoop somewhere in it.
Yeah,
actually.
Yeah, I'm kind of hearing that.
It makes it like, and I've noticed that among both the settings, that it just gives it this like sweetness.
Yes, yeah. There's something about it, and it could be that original 808 circuit chip thingy, Bob.
Yep.
Could have a lot to do with it. They're probably using different chips, you know. Let's see here. Next clipping. This is asymmetrical, which is going to give you a heck of a lot more gain. That's going to be the big difference here. This one is LED, which is different. So let's hear the differences between this. Let's start with LED. A little bit more bright, but not too much really. Not a whole bunch of more gain on that one. All right. It's a different kind of clipping, it really is. It's more in your face, but it's not horribly in your face. Definitely more compressed. It's got this on the high end to me. It's really pronounced. You can really, especially lead. You can hear that. It's almost like a fuzziness. It's pretty cool. Really like this pedal. This is a really good pedal. I'm like, ooh. You know. Okay, so I'm going to go back to original clipping now for the last part of this video. And I'm just going to mess with the bass boost. So they're both on like stock amount of bass. I'm going to put the drives up a little bit more. Okay, Herculean. Well, first I should probably. This does have that extra feature where it takes a little bit of bass out of the circuit. I'll hear that one first. Cool. Okay, so here's the stock amount of bass. So different already. Wow. You can definitely hear more low end in there. Okay, now stock in this one. Whew, God, so much more drive. Already, man, that's a lot of gain. You know, it's so different. They're just so different even to compare the bass boosts, but might as well. Here is a bass boost now on the Herculean. Definitely hear it. Now the reason, sorry to stop, but the reason why would you even want a bass boost? Because single coils are jangly and nice. You know, I am on the neck pickup a lot when I play. I heard in a video a long time ago. I think it was a Wobbler video or something like that, saying, you know, most guys I know use the neck pickup for that sweetness with the tube screamer, and the guy's like, well, how God intended. And I was like, yeah. But then I started hearing more bridge work, and it sounds good too. It just, to me, it can get over bright sometimes. But not really. This is a pretty sweet sounding pedal. So that's a good thing. I also have the bass boost all the way up there, so that's good for a bridge pickup kind of sound. Now if I had it all the way off, I mean, it's pretty close, but anyway, boiling point with the bass boost. Wow, you can really hear it on that. Just trying to match the drive of the other one. Anywho, that about wraps it up for this shootout. Please comment, subscribe, comment below. Tell me which one you like the best. I know I kind of talk a lot in between my playing. I'm just trying to emphasize what I think is happening. The best way, like I said, is to come down here and try them yourself. Next week, I'm going to have the JHS Bonsai, which is like 10 different Tube Screamers in one. Just came out. We just got it in. I need to mess with it some more before I really show it off. And I'm going to kind of put it against the Earthquaker Devices Palisades. That one might not do every Tube Screamer that the Bonsai is doing, but it has so many options of clippings, and it's insane. It's going to take me like a week to really learn that pedal. So stay tuned next week for that. And yeah, I'm going to play now. And I'll see you guys next week.